Welcome to GameBreakers. This is Thomas. I am here with Allison, David, and Diamond playing Stan, CliqClaq, and Struana, respectively. We are continuing the adventures of A Bard's Tale, our D&D 5th edition adventure. And when last we left our intrepid heroes, they had just survived some intrigue within the city of the Delta Confederacy. Apparently, some high-level shenanigans spilled over into Struana's master's recital, and the group survived a pit fiend, and actually did really well against a pit fiend. Nobody died. We lost any appendages. Bowel control. So we zoom the camera in on the morning after the drinking shenanigans after the incident. You guys have some downtime at this point. There are 18 days until the Black Convergence. What you do up to that point is up to you. If you guys want to know what the Black Convergence is, hop on to some of the links to previous episodes.
I'm going to do some shopping.
All right. As a note, we also just leveled up. So some people are also in the process of finding new skills. So wait a minute. Stan, step one is to go to the market district.
I'm out of poach. I need more giant strength. Gotta get my steroids.
Shopping is not my favorite thing with a hangover, Stan.
So, we are coming in at on the what is essentially a downtime section. You are getting prepared. How you use that time is up to you. Stan, you said step one is to go shopping for potions. Is that going to be in the market district? Are you going to go to your sponsor? Are you going to hit up a new part of town?
I'll probably go to the market district and wear my armor.
Okay.
Yep. I'm putting together my list now. I don't have all the things I'm going to be going after. There's going to be some potions and some other gear. Okay.
You are, as soon as you're done showing your papers at the transit station to the guard and get through, within 5 minutes, you are approached by someone in just like peasant's clothes. It's like, what there, Sir Stan? I'll be your insurance agent today, and I've been told that you're aware of the situation and that I should beg you please don't hit me.
I suppose we all have jobs to do.
Thanks. I'll try to be inconspicuous. He goes off and like hides around a corner and watches you. and then you go about your business.
Damn, be long.
We'll have you hit up the downtime rules section, and we'll let me know at what point I need to roll a whether you have a complication. But we'll just use those rules as normal for your shopping.
Okay.
CliqClaq, what do you do the morning after and for the next while?
We're like 18 days out.
18 days out, according to your other clock.
How do I put this? The first thing he does is go to his druid friend to ask a favor of him, but I don't want to reveal what that is on camera yet.
Okay.
But they
type it out to me.
What?
Send it to me in a private message.
Will do. let the record show that it happened, and hopefully we won't have to hear about it.
Right? Okay.
After that, he's built everything he needs to build. This is the day after the bar.
Yeah, starting that morning. I mean, time is a little. We're on dramatic time, so.
Did what I say earlier about him studying rogues get recorded?
I believe that was in our character creation session, but
Okay.
like that evening and other times when it's come up. Go ahead.
Struana and Stan keep insisting on dragging CliqClaq to bars, and he could not physically care less. Does not get drunk easily, does not enjoy drinking, is not looking to get laid. A bar has nothing to offer him that bars advertise. So while he's there, bored and being compliant to the rest of his party, he's watching everyone with his high perception. And he's noticing all the underhanded dealings that happen in a fantasy tavern. And he's seeing pickpocketing and maybe even the occasional assassination that no one notices because it's being pulled off by very talented people who don't realize this weird little genius is watching them. And he becomes fascinated, and it becomes something he actually sets out to study, to understand, and sees the value of. So
what is your new passive perception and insight?
Passive perception is 20.
Okay.
Insight is 2.
So a 12, if I remember the formula correctly.
Oh, passive insight? I know that's a thing. 12.
Okay. Yeah, it's the insight you get when you're not rolling insight. If you'd like to roll either of those for these situations, you're trying extra hard. Otherwise, I'll just use your passive.
My track record with Roll20 says just take my score.
Well, I would even accept real dice. I make it a point not to play with assholes, so I trust you when you say your rolls.
Yeah, I got a 50.
Never mind.
Come on. I actually have a dice tower, so I won't actually roll off the table. 17.
17. All right, so between those two things that night and kind of as you're piecing together a pattern of interactions that you've witnessed on the times, especially Stan has dragged you out to a bar, the patterns you see are these. Taverns with... Most taverns don't have very much in the way of crime in them. So when you do see those instances of like a cut purse, almost universally, you see someone else see them.
Okay.
Almost every time. If you saw it, there's someone in almost all of these taverns that you've seen, except for like the really rough ones where there's just like a big dude at the door and like fights break out all the time, and these are the bars where people die. But nearly universally, it is seen by someone else, and enough of the time with your insight check, you see that person see the interaction, see whatever like con is being pulled or purse is being lifted or whatever's happening, cards being cheated at, whatever grift, scam, con, or other skullduggery is going on. You noticed, someone else noticed, and that person shows up with reinforcements before too long, and then they all disappear. That's the usual,
Okay.
the usual interaction that happens. That's the standard method. And if you go to multiple places like regularly, you will see the same crews handling these things at different places. Some of what you see in skulls or in stands like tour of the city's bars is also once or twice you see somebody that was in one of those security crews, also in another bar, like plying their trade. So it seems that there are multiple factions. And if you want to roll a quick history check, that will also help with some background info.
That's a 1.
Okay. Who knows why? But you do remember Andrathwil's words some amount of time ago about thinking of the city as a living organism with different systems and organs and cells, and I don't know how far down fantasy biology gets. I haven't challenged the system yet. Any further down, you'd have to have a medical proficiency. Anyway, when you asked her, or when you asked him what to, confided that you were occasionally lost in the flow of the city. That's all that comes to mind.
Okay. These groups that I see handling some shiftiness, are they of varying skill? Like, are some groups better than others?
Yeah. Usually, there's a very solid ratio in your mathematical mind to the level of expense of the drinks and decor, and the skill of how much the other person catches. Sometimes you catch things they don't. You see interactions go on that they don't see. It lets you give kind of a measure of where their skill sits.
Some night where I find what feels like a mid-level guy, I hunter's mark him and follow him.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. Have Lovelace also give me a stealth check.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I got a 20.
Okay.
She got a... Come on. That's embarrassing. 22. I have a higher... She rolled a lot better.
Are you mounted?
Yeah.
All right, so the two of you have no trouble shadowing this guy to the most nondescript little like cigar-shaped shop in between two shops with large signs and doing their thing. No sign. There is just a symbol above the door, which you don't really recognize, but you can notice. The door's unlocked.
Can she fit through the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's 5 feet.
Yeah. A lot of doors aren't 5 feet wide, especially in a small building. The earrings have a range, don't they? They have a range limitation.
10 miles.
10 miles?
Something like that.
I see if either of the other two can hear me.
Okay.
Can either of them hear me?
Let's just, off the top of our heads, say which district you're going to be in, and we'll see.
You tell me.
Are you slumming it? Are you going to the poor districts? Are you sticking around the library?
Well, I'm aiming for middle management here, so where would that skill level be? Like they're not going to be gentlemen thieves, but they're also not going to be the grave robbers, you know.
You kind of find a smattering wherever. I mean, the library district is closest to where you hang out. There's also the agriculture district, the cooperative. That's right by the Druid Circle. Those would probably be the most likely places that you'd hang out to find them.
Library district sounds safer.
Okay.
That's where this building is?
Yeah.
Okay. Can either of the other two hear me?
I'm going to say yes. Struana is almost certainly in the library, and Stan's not going to be much farther out than that.
I ring in. I give them my location, like cross streets and whatnot, and say if they don't hear back from me in an hour, come in blazing. Okay.
And for the players, that is about here. Right at the border between the library and the Pantheon districts.
And we go in.
All right. Give me another stealth check, unless you're like kicking in the door.
No. 18.
Okay. And for Lovelace as well.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Well, she's gonna guard the door.
Oh, that's not good at all. Yeah, 12.
Okay. So you go in and are kind of like slowly sneaking your way in, and she gets kind of halfway in the door, and the door like and is still like halfway open until she like scuttles forward behind you. Now I have to roll a dice real quick. My first dice roll of the night. Oh, jeez.
Oh, good. I don't know what you did, but...
Excuse me. So I rolled a natural 20. I know we don't put off fireworks when I roll good. So from the back, like what you walk into, by the way, there's a counter a little ways in front of you, and then it's just piles of books, book storage from there back. As far it obscures vision pretty quickly. Somebody from one of the piles kind of pops his head up. You got an order number? Human fella.
Maybe?
Oh, you too there. It's a book depository, friend. You got any books you need? Books you're storing? Do you need books stored?
I did come here as part of research.
Oh, we don't loan anything out. These are all private collections that are storage.
Did someone just go through here before me?
Nope.
He's lying, right?
I don't know. Roll insight.
Oh, great. 10.
It's 50-50.
I also saw someone come in.
Oh, yeah? When was that?
No, David was saying that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and put advantage on that roll. With that piece of information.
Nope, that was worse.
50-50. He might not have seen it. He might be sincere.
What's down the hallway? Like, what's...
It's just books. All the way back. More books. Books and books and books.
If I promise not to touch anything, can I look around?
Afraid not, friend. Not without a book. Not without an order number.
What does an order number look like?
Well, you'd know if you had one. I really don't want to be a dick to this guy, but... like, I could really be a dick to this guy. I just steamroll him. I know a good bookseller, if you're looking for something specific.
This one of those moments where CliqClaq is wishing the bard was with him. Like, this is a time where you're supposed to lie, and I don't know how to do that.
Just pretend that you do. Wait. Act with the brain of the person you wish you were.
Just pretend you're Struana for a second.
I have Lovelace step up to the counter.
Uh-huh.
I climb up on her, and I have her stand as tall as possible, so I'm standing on her, because I'm trying to get closer to eye level.
Right.
I say, look, I was following someone. I do not wish them harm, but I'm trying to learn something. I know they came in here. Either you didn't see them or you're covering. It's one of the two. I'm not looking to cause trouble. I'm not looking for ill will. I'm trying to learn something, and the person I'm following can help me with what I'm trying to learn. Are you gonna let me keep going, or am I reaching into my pocket for something?
$50 gold and a drop of blood. That's how you get through. At least for the first, if all you want is to learn something. 50 gold, drop of blood.
A drop of blood?
Your blood.
Smart of him to specify. All right. I have so much money. I never buy anything. Without looking, reach in my pocket and without looking, count out 50 gold, put it on the counter, reach back, pull out an arrow. Where do I put this?
He takes the top piece of gold off the stack, slides it over to you. Press your thumb in.
Oh.
Entry dues. He puts that in. He pulls a cabinet out from under the counter, slides it back in. You hear like a mechanism and like the coin has gone somewhere. He takes the rest and just puts it into the cash register. Take 3 lefts. Won't make sense till you get there.
All right. Thank you very much. And mount up and scuttle away.
Okay. How do you proceed?
Not trying to stealth, but being cautious.
Okay.
I
What is
pay my
your?
information and hide. What?
If are you being so cautious that you're investigating, or should we use your passive investigation?
I'm following the directions he gave me, but I'm also aware that there could be traps and whatnot. So it's kind of a. I'm not like creeping along like it's a dungeon. I'm just trying to be as aware of my surroundings as possible.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me investigation.
I have a score in that. 11.
Okay. Now roll me a reflex save.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
Now can you have Loveless roll me a reflex save?
Where's your reflex save?
Oh,
Uh,
go into my chips.
Oh no.
Now it's a party. Where is it? 3. 23.
Plenty.
I would hope so.
So you hear as you're passing through, like you're kind of looking one way, and you hear from like your blind spot a little, and look over just in time to see from a stack of books. There's a structure inside them that has flung a whole like subset of them out of the Jenga pile and at you and the crab. Lovelace ducks down quickly just as you're leaping up, and most of them go between the two of you. But you do take 2 bludgeoning each.
Okay.
Right? You just matrix that shit. All right. Get to the next left turn.
Great.
Roll me investigation.
Investigation. 11.
Now roll me a wisdom save.
Nine.
So you get to one corner and you begin to turn left, and then everything starts spinning. The floor underneath you has come loose from around it, and it looks like the book stacks are rearranging themselves. And once it all settles, you're not really sure which way was left.
I have one way I can tell. I had hunters mark that guy. I doubt he moved that much in that amount of time.
Okay.
I can use him as a North Star.
Okay. So you follow the direction of your hunter's mark.
Or
And
the direction I was going before the labyrinth happened.
right. Like using that to orient you. And this is as I described earlier. What's that?
Yeah. If that's north and I was headed west, I will still head where west would be before everything went weird.
Right. Using your rangery skills and innate sense of direction, you are able to reorient yourself. Like wait. Okay. That's and as I noted earlier, it is a long, thin building. So you pick what you think is the right one based on that orientation, and give me one more investigation check.
17.
17. As you're coming up to another section, you see that in a lot of places the floor has been strewn with papers, or there are like little substructures of steps and paths to get over that are made out of books. This is another one like this, but you notice before you get up to it, you're like, wait. Those are set up to fall.
It's a tiger trap.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is there a... Even though it keeps going, is there a wall on the other side? Just a flat surface across the way?
It's around a corner. It's like a step up and then a landing and a step up, and it's the landing that is set to fall. So it's on a left turn.
The corner is where the floor is false? Well, that's a dick move. Okay.
Acrobatics would get you through.
Okay.
Could parkour, kick flip off the wall.
I was gonna get even weirder about it, but that works too.
Okay. It's D&D. Get as weird as you like.
Is there something sturdy nearby I can hook my grappling hook onto?
It's all piles of books.
It's all piles of books. What about
now?
the ground?
You know that, I mean, you could poke around. You know that in some areas there has been some structure to it, and that's that the traps are built on.
Wait, I'm dumb. I'm forgetting. I have stakes. I have like designed to be driven into stone stakes that I carry with me, and I use Lovelace as a hammer to knock them in place.
Okay.
And it's metal stake, braided edge so it doesn't come out, and keyhole top.
Okay.
Have her hammer one of those into the ground, hook the grappling hook through it, and we're going to do we're going to run toward that corner, jump and hold the rope tight and just slingshot around the side.
Okay.
Okay?
Both of you?
Yeah, she's faster than I am.
So she's going to hold on to it, and you're going to ride her and both do this.
I can tell how much rope it's going to take.
Yeah.
So, I let it far and lock the spool so it's not going to let out anymore. So it's the mechanism holding taut.
Got it.
But basically, it's going to, slingshot us around the corner so we don't fall in.
All right. Give me a thieves' tool.
Thieves' tools, not tinker tools.
In this case, you're using it to
survive.
Muck with a trap. So in this case, we're going to call it thieves.
So what stat is that?
It's the tool. Your proficiency bonus for the tools give you 1 bonus of proficiency. If you were proficient in tools, you'd get more.
So just that plus a d20?
And int, I believe.
Okay.
Not exactly your dump stat.
12.
12 in this case was enough. So you do in exactly the way you mapped the arc in the math, and land directly on on the stairway up and are able to proceed. At which point you get to a dead end. Give me an investigation check.
Yeah. 12.
It's more books.
Can she do one?
Sure.
Because she has like, blind sight and all that stuff.
No. At this point, your hunter's mark is down.
Down like lower or down like below us?
Down like below you. Not below, but underneath you.
Right, like it's the floor. It's the next floor, like in an apartment building. Having noticed that, can I really inspect the floor?
Yeah.
Is that investigation again?
Yes.
Oh God, much better. Math. 24. Yes.
Okay.
24.
Well, once you focus your search to the floor, you clearly see the outlines of a trapdoor, and underneath a book, you kind of like slide the book in, and it uncovers a lock mechanism.
It lock. Oh, okay. Like a lock, or just
Like a lock. Like there's a place in the stone where you would slide a key.
Do I think I can pick this?
It doesn't look super complex. I mean, it's a pretty basic
Yep.
key lock. It also, like with that investigation, you can see that it has been picked before a lot.
That's probably how you get in. You succeed at picking the lock. Okay, so I'm picking the lock.
Okay.
That's another thief tool thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 21.
Okay. Also a note, Lovelace can help with any of these things and give you advantage. Just for future reference, I just remembered that.
That would have been valuable to know like a month ago.
I only just realized it. It's something that familiars can do too. So,
Cool.
Yep. Anyway.
So that was with 21, I think.
Yeah. Which is plenty. You pop it right up. The door slides a little bit, and you're able to slide it off. And there's a ladder down.
Yeah. We climb down. Lovelace can
All right.
climb ladder. It's been established.
When you get to the bottom, you feel like a pressure plate, and the door closes above you. It's a little bar. It's a little like people are eating. There's a guy with a kitchen behind him and a little counter. He's got specials of the day. Everybody looks up, looks at you.
Hi!
They all go back to conversing. Everything they're talking about is utterly mundane.
I'm sure it is.
It's price of tea leaves, the cocoa market futures, the statistics about deaths within the city over the last 100 years. Just like
Wait.
all of it is terminally boring.
I understand if just for concept-wise, what are the chances of CliqClaq recognizing a pattern under all of this? Like,
The pattern is the lack of pattern. When
Right.
you listen to it for long enough, you realize that the conversations as an interaction don't actually mean anything. They're going through like pre-done social scripts. Give me a perception test.
Peas and carrots, rhubarb, rhubarb, rhubarb.
You said what am I rolling? Sorry.
Perception.
16.
Yeah, your stupid high one. Yeah. Uh,
Was
so
it
you
terrible?
notice that there is some gesture component to this as well. For like someone saying a phrase and stroking his beard with one finger versus two fingers would elicit a different social script. But still, I mean, similarly nonsensical as far as like actually conveying meaning to you. But it seems to, I mean, you see postures change unnaturally, just a little bit unusually. You see, I mean, very little small variations in the way someone says something. And the bartender at this point notices you looking. Says, hey, new fella. First one's on the house. Come on over.
Walk over, climb up on the stool.
What are you doing?
I tell him whatever Stan ordered for me, whatever that drink was. I repeat that.
Says, too bad. All we have is booze. Here's an ale. He didn't recognize the drink. He doesn't seem to be a great bartender. He just, I don't know what that is. Here, have an ale.
Here's an alcohol. Enjoy.
Right, one booze. It's the local brand, spelled with a Z. It says, I notice you're new here, and you seem to be a little lost in the way of things. But you got this far. You paid your way. So it says you're at least worthy to look into some grunt work then, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, I got to tell you, CliqClaq, I know who you are. You've got a bit of a reputation. That's all right.
Okay. What kind?
Well, you're a bit of a hero.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Okay.
Yeah. Heard. I hear things.
Nah, it's just you never know what people say when you're not looking at them.
Right. But so's I don't keep having you at a disadvantage, my name's Prester.
CliqClaq.
Good to finally meet you. So, CliqClaq. I hadn't really reckoned you for an insurance man.
I'm new to the profession.
Oh, I see. Well, you know I'm talking about thieving, right? I mean, we're both we're both on the same page here, right?
I am so glad you said something. I didn't know if we were or not, but yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You seemed a little doe-eyed. I wanted to make sure.
I'm new to subtext. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. It's all very cloak and dagger. It's meant to confuse. The entire operation's built on obfuscation. I mean, we speak a language that nobody cares about. It just bores everyone else to tears, so they don't listen.
Yeah, there's something under it, I noticed.
There certainly is. If you'd like, I can arrange your lesson.
Please.
You seem like
yeah?
Yeah. Well, you paid your dues. You've made it through the book gauntlet, at least for this lodge. So you've at least earned basic treatment. There's no guidebook.
That's a shame.
We're just going to have some long, boring chats, you and me. So drink up. And then over the course of at least a few hours, he lays out the basic of Thieves' Cant to you.
Okay.
And it's essentially as I've described it. I mean, it's creating an underlying conversation out of something just mind-numbingly mundane.
Mm-hmm. I've played
Right?
Rogue
It's
before.
why insurance is such a great front.
Yeah.
He also tells you a little bit about the ins and outs of the Thieves Guilds. I mean, it's essentially competing insurance companies. They run rackets. They insure clients, and if anybody messes with their clients, they run repossession, claims adjustment, and
I think we all remember the State Farm Allstate turf war.
yeah. That's actually like the names are more mundane and are more flowery in fantasy, but that's actually a thing that's happened in the history of the city. That's so that's you spending some time learning Thieves' Cant and also getting a sense of one of the other organs and systems in this city.
Right. Okay.
It'll take at least a couple of days, just so you know. Like,
I would think.
Yep. But it's covered by your dues, so he doesn't ask for any remuneration. There's some ground rules if you're going to take any thieving jobs.
I think that's the kind of thing I would worry about when we get back from the desert.
But what now?
No, I'm not saying that in game.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
I think that's the kind of thing he'll worry about when they get back.
Okay. But he does lay out some ground rules for you then. Just
Okay.
over the course of this. No thieving within the guild. Check your client list before you go after anything. Independent operations are frowned upon, but as long as you pay your cut at least afterward. Usually they like to get a heads up so they can offer you more people in the crew, and everybody gets paid. And then they'll let you know if they have any repossession work that comes up. Check back. There's a board. New adventure board unlocked. Thieves Guild missions.
Okay.
That's your few days. So we'll pan the camera back as CliqClaq is discussing actuarial tables in a bar underneath a book depository. Struana is your
Hi.
Yay. The camera zooms in on you. You have been inundated with mail and requests starting that next night. Lower bards are asking for audiences with you, various training bits. Basically, a lot of people want to get in good with you right now, both in the college, in the Bacchanal Junction, and just the bardic population of the city has taken notice.
Well, that's good to know since there are a couple people that I missed being able to get signatures in the book from. So I'm going to finish that task because I certainly don't want to leave this task unfinished.
Okay. Alpero is the last one, right?
I think so. I don't know that I got any. Did I get one from Jubal?
Yes.
Okay. So Tinnerin then. I believe I thought I wrote it down, but apparently I didn't.
Alpero Tineric will come to you, actually, the next day.
Slightly hungover.
Right.
Maybe.
He looks like he's maybe just a little bit drunk. But he finds you in the lobby area where you've been staying at the library. Abris shuffles him over like, "Oh, you've got a visitor, Struana. There you are. I know your signature, right?
Yes, here.
All right. Yes. All right. Come on. Excellent show. Showmanship was acceptable. I appreciated your attention to detail. All in all, very spectacular. Do you end all of them with a devil fight?
I think that if I did, I wouldn't live very, very much longer.
I wouldn't work that into the show if I were you. I'm not always going to be around with a trick I pulled off. Close thing, that.
That was a close thing and pretty exceptional. The library has some pretty good post-drinking meals, I've discovered, if you feel like dining here.
Yes, well, certainly, yeah. Abris knows what I like.
I've awkwardly forgotten how to conversate. Happens. It's like, oh, polite, thank yous. Okay, thank you. If you have any future advice, thank you.
No.
I need your assistance with who Teneric was, because he's a fully fledged character in your head, but he's just a name in mine. So if you could remind me, I would appreciate it.
Alpero Teneric was the bardic master he was one very attentive to detail and historical accuracy, and he's also the one that cast Dominate Monster on the Pit Fiend at the end of the fight. He was the last one you activated.
Okay, thank you.
College of Lore.
I'm apparently low on the roleplay skill, but I'm going to ask his if he'd be interested in conversing with me about the history of the desert.
The Badwa'Mor.
Yeah.
Very little is known. Well, you're in the right place generally. I keep a lot of information around. What do you need?
A general we're going in blind.
You're going. Don't go. It's terrible. Wow, no, don't go. I mean, bards are allowed there, which is more than can be said of most creatures from outside the desert. I mean, we have, nobody wants to get in trouble by killing a bard. We've created certain superstitions about ourselves over the years and tried to disseminate them widely. And there are bards from there that are trained. But don't go. Don't go. It's madness. It's always hot. There's a sandstorm somewhere and then there's the worms.
There's worms. There's worms. Of course there's
mountains of them. I mean, yes. Size of a building.
You think they'd come up with a better name than worm?
Well, if it didn't look so damn much like a worm.
Saying the naming of things.
I'm sure they have some elegant frou-for-all for it in their own language, but I don't. It's a worm.
Goodness.
The people there are hostile to everyone. There are genies of various types that roam the wastes, gathering slaves and trading baubles and bits. There are serpents that seemingly used to rule the roost, and have now been sort of aged out and succeeded by other more chaotic tribes. It's a mess. It's a terrible place to visit, and I wouldn't wish living there on my worst enemy. Why are you going?
So, I mean, because we have to.
Oh, I see.
That's usually the way. What do you? I've been, if you don't mind my taking this minute to ask you a couple of things. You, being someone who knows so much about the previous histories of places, of things, and of people, I've been distinctly curious about the voice, about how they function. It feels like a sort of a great mystery to many people, and I was wondering if you had any insight into that.
Certainly is. The library and the Three Towers would love to know how it works. It's the great mystery of the city. Rose up about 50 years ago out of the ashes of the Tanamir house. They, sort of stereotypical Mad King tropes, degenerate line, etc., descent into madness and tyranny. It's the sort of thing that leads to a revolution, inevitably. But this revolution was different. It was coordinated, but without a leader. And
when did it?
The city has progressed in exactly that way.
When did it begin being different?
Can't really tell exactly when it started. I mean, there had been groups within the area that had complaints for decades, at least a few generations as in Dwarven time. The difference was in the way they banded together. It started out as a renters' strike. Began several months before the first cracks in Tanamir showed. It just slowly gained ground. It's an odd thing. Forced Tanamir to break some contracts with other cities. They became none too happy. Strained relations with all sorts of various hiring cabals. And then it all just fell down. All at once. Tanamir went mad, killed his family, struck himself down. The voice and the entire city, part of the voice technically or not, it mobbed the castle, tore it down stone by stone. No survivors that I understand of, but and then nothing. No vacuum of power, no period of chaos, no influx. The gate ward marched through and claimed a piece of Tanamir's district, redrew the maps, the lines on the map. Sarto's Ring, similarly, took the opportunity to claim old ground from Tanamir. And then the House of Tanamir dissolved. All of its holdings, all of its contracts were passed along to the Voice as a district. Every citizen in the district seems to own everything. I mean, legally, it's been ratified by the judges. The Riverwander Critocracy has, or Critarchy has affirmed that it is within contractual law within the city, and there's precedent and everything. It's quite confusing if you're not really into wonky legal policy, but there's still cities in the Confederacy that do not recognize the voice as a legal district. But the dragon takes their tribute.
Are you aware of anything historically similar to this? Does it remind you of anything?
It reminds me most of Formians. Creatures from planes derived of the stuff of law and order. Hive mind creatures. They all function as one. But it's not even that. Each of them remains individual free will. There's no inherent punishment mechanism. I mean, their universal income is flexible based on some perception within the community of your value and
like a reading of the zeitgeist of the moment. There's something for zeitgeist of the moment.
I think that's as inaccurate a statement as could be made about it. It is in itself a conundrum.
And conundrums are certainly fascinating.
Well, the towers would love any answers you have. They suspect the entire thing to stink of renegade magic.
And if it weren't, I think that even if it was proven to them beyond a doubt that it didn't stink of renegade magic, they would still believe that.
As a general rule, anything not directly controlled by the towers tends to fall under that blanket.
I'm going to make an effort to try to talk about the thing we're not supposed to talk about and just, like, stumble on words a couple times.
Comes out as the weather. Or just repeating the last thing that you just said in a different way.
I just feel like I need to, like, I think that Struana is just going to keep poking that regularly. I don't like being told I can't investigate, talk about, think about a thing. Come on.
So what you tried to say is, did you know Jubal is a lich? And what you actually said was, man, unseasonably hot.
Are there any histories, adventures that you would recommend that I look at regarding either the desert or the voice that wouldn't just be immediately apparent? They're not the things that are going to, oh, here's a third tier.
Well,
not first. But my research happened faster.
If you were going to get any more detail than I have in general, I would speak with Sonny. He's a member. As far as information about the desert, I have not been there. I have heard stories. I have no desire to go. It seems abominable. And I wish you the best of luck returning quickly from that horrid wasteland.
I sincerely hope that that is the way that it goes. I'm going to buy his meal, whatever equivalent that is.
Okay.
Put it on my tab, jeez.
I do know that one of the chief advisors to Andric and Gorn is a rather mysterious figure, doesn't talk about himself much, but he has at least adopted the style and dress and manner of the Badwa'Mor. And so may have direct experience there. Otherwise, I know of no one who's traveled to there and come back.
So that is helpful. Thank you so much.
A pleasure. Thank you for the performance. I appreciate the meal. Don't let it go to your head. A lot of people are going to try and use you right now.
It's already apparent. The hiding under a rock, unfortunately, doesn't work as well for me as I would like it to. So.
No. Someone is always going to decide to use the rock for something.
Here's wishing you pleasant interactions and good choices.
Yes. You as well. Just so. And he kind of harumps his way off, puts his key in the door. You can see that there is a lush, lavish office behind the door. Just a research space. Books line the halls, and he disappears into it.
Ooh.
And we'll get back to Stan's shopping after the break. We're going to take a quick moment. This is, of course, GameBreakers. I am also, of course, Thomas. This is Allison, David, and Diamond. And if you like what we do, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you think it could be done better, we agree with you and have created a Patreon for exactly that purpose. Feel free to hit it up. Links are in the doobly-doo. And meanwhile, have a good game. Welcome back. We will zoom the camera back in on the action as Stan is wandering with fairly obvious tail through the marketplace. You've got some downtime rolls to make, yeah?
Yep. He's going to be rolling charisma persuasion check. Do I have my charisma and my persuasion? Or just... Okay.
If you didn't have persuasion, it would just be charisma.
Do you want me to do that? I guess I rolled it here. Use this. Which is unfortunate because it's kind of bad. But that isn't terrible. So I rolled a 2, and I'm a bonus of 9. And so that puts me at 11, which is exactly where I wanted to be for Magic Item Table C.
Perfect.
And then I roll 1d4 times on that table to see what is available. Although it says if someone's looking for something specific, you can decide if you want to allow them in the game.
You're looking mostly for just a couple of potions, right?
Oh, I'm looking for a potion of growth, a potion of fire giant strength, a potion of flying, and a potion of superior healing and elixir of health. So okay. I kind of most of them are on table C, so I figure you could roll to see what comes up. It's an R.
Yeah, well, we'll roll to see how many of those are going to be there. So there's going to be a little adjustment. I'll do in mine.
Oh, 1. I rolled a 1d4, and it's 1 item from that table.
Okay, so that week you're able to find 1 guy, unless you would like to throw some more gold around, or is it per day? I don't remember the roll.
Well, it only gets me a bonus on the search. It doesn't give me a bonus on the roll 1d4 times on Magic Table.
Oh, right.
And so we have 18 days, so I guess I could do another one. I was also getting some other stuff, basic stuff that was non-magical. That's neither here nor there. All right, I guess I'll do it another time. Let me roll for this one.
Okay.
I'll use rolls 20. 14, same table.
All right.
Magic Table C.
So you go back to the same guy. He's like, aha! You're back. I got the same stuff for you.
I got 4. 1d4, I rolled 4.
Yeah, he remembered a lot of the stuff you asked for and has been paying attention. I'd like to make the sale. Hey, you're kind of a hero. I see you already got a sponsor there. Anybody sponsoring your potions? Has got that locked up? Eh?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, you don't say. I'll draw something up. Come back tomorrow.
So I don't get these potions.
You do. You do. You're able to purchase them.
Is that like a Hollywood? Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's have lunch.
Yeah.
You still have the lunch. You just don't work with them.
Fair enough.
No one says no to lunch. A free sandwich is a free sandwich, you know.
Right? I mean, I have to really not like somebody not to go to lunch with them. Like, it's a statement. Let's do lunch. No.
No, because I'm going to die someday, and my time has value. Apparently, you haven't met you. You don't know what you're asking.
I'm worried if I eat your food, I'll get trapped in your hell. Anyway. So, at the end of the week, Struana, are you doing any attunements?
So I want to, there's two of them. There's reattuning to the finger of portent and actually attuning to the rod of absorption.
The rod is easy.
So this,
you hang out with it, you decide to attune to it, it attunes. So the evening that you begin this attunement, you are once again racked by dreams. This time you're starting to recognize threads now that you seem to be further along in the story in Bard speak. You see multiple instances of the city being invaded. You see Borranor riding a winged shadow dragon. The Frumianweir is nowhere to be seen. The city is decimated. In the next instant, the city is getting invaded again. The Borranor is charging in on a nightmare steed with a herd of nightmares behind him. The dragon is nowhere to be seen. In the next iteration, once again, the city is being invaded. This time, the Borranor is fighting in single combat with the dragon in the sky, while the undead just flood from the riverbanks into the city. In the next iteration, there is a cloud over the city, and all you see is destruction and pain. The dragon is nowhere to be seen, but Borranor is raised up over the city with a figure in bone armor underneath it. And in the next iteration, there's nothing. There's just a pleasant day in the city. No change. You wake up with 21 psychic damage. The last part of the dream, after your combat, you feel like it's one of those dreams where you wake up in the dream. You wake up with 21 psychic damage in the dream, and and begin to go about your business, and all of a sudden, you're back on the island. And you are standing on top of the salt pillar monolith at the topmost point of the island, staring down into the whirlpool. And you leap from it, and at the bottom is the door that almost kept you there. You see, as you're dropping into the whirlpool, instead of the vortex going down, now it's the symbols on that door, the writings, the whorls, and you start to see some truth in it. And then, as you get down to the end, the last ring is inscribed your name in a language that you don't know, but you know that is your name. It's a name that you didn't even realize you had. It's yours now. You fall into the door and wake up with 5 more psychic damage. And you're a warlock now.
I hate it when that happens.
Just like, I feel powerful, but really crude. Oh, this is terrible.
You also now instinctively know at all times exactly where that door is. You can feel it.
So presently it's at the bottom of the whirlpool, and I can tell.
No, it's not at the bottom of the whirlpool. You can see as though you were standing in front of it in the place that you were. Every time you close your eyes, almost whether you want to or not, standing right in front of the door where you left it after unearthing the golden fiddle.
After what?
Unearthing the fiddle that had trapped the genie.
Yes.
Long.
No, I recall. I'm nodding. Going. Is my name now Door? Are we going game-ish? Anyway.
I'll let you figure out what your name is in Sylvan.
Okay. I will eventually try to figure that out.
Right now, you
It's a
don't
good
speak
thing.
the language. It doesn't make any sense.
Gosh,
to
it's an awful good thing that I have an airship. So I am the, wow, I need to deal with this. I also really need to look into these bank accounts.
you. So much
Whatever-
stuff.
Whatever the equivalent in the city of like 5-hour energy is, I'm gonna get a pocket full of those and get moving.
Yeah, gonna go for some fatigue damage, eh? Right.
And I want to talk to Harridan about the door, and also I need to look into Escrian's bank accounts. I need to go into the Dwarven district. This needs to happen.
Well, it's pretty tough to just get bank information. You've tried that already, but I'm sure you'll come up with a plan next week. Before we wrap up, we had Stan shopping. We had CliqClaq's entry into the guild. Next week, we've got more things to go. We're about, what are we at, 12 or so days until the Black Convergence. Meanwhile, so this has been GameBreakers. We are just wrapping up this section. If you like what we do, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you think we could do it better, we agree. Hop over to our Patreon. We set it up just to improve. Till then, have a good game.